folks fresh off the plane. They both weathered the pain with postcards and they prayed for some co-stars. Had a baby like Mozart, guitar virtuoso like Tom Morello with Zach De La Rocha. While I did homework pronto on the sofa reading Road Dog. Booted up the console, one controller for my Road Dog. Ride with Koji Kondo, then with Toadstool in my go-kart. Broha throwing combos, going postal, yelling, oh, drug! Hoping Papa don't preach like he usually do. Make a big speech, he a choosy dude. Yeah. And mama cook, eats like a goofy soup. Right before sleep, I love Lucy too. Now we singing Nick at Night. The place for TV hits. Now I'm tripping like I'm Dick Van Dyke. Damn, I miss when we were kids. Steady tripping like, let's go away for a while. I'm a child. It's a strange and distant land where we only speak the truth. Everyone understands how we play back in the day. Yeah, instead of bitches and hoes, we talk glitches and hoes and plot twists and the pros of the Mach 6. With steady giggles and lows, we went through each of the shows on Fox. Kids wanna slow the clock's ticks, passing time, talking Skywalker, Cyclops or Cyberman, Arkham Asylum, and vibe where the sidewalk ends. Guile to MacGyver to Pride Rock to Frylocking, fights with Nuke Cybot or Psylocke and Psyduck. I spent a summer overdosing on Pokemon, chilling with my brother on the sofa while home alone. Anytime it thundered, then we wanna run close to mom. I remember posting with my bros in Hiroshima. Yeah, whether Christmas or it's Halloween, fuck a distance, they will always be a part of me. If life a RPG, I want them in my party. We a army, thick as Heifer Filbert in the modern wallaby. We gotta be. Let's go away for a while. I'm a child. It's a strange and distant land where we only speak the truth. Everyone understands how we play back in the day. Let's go away for a while. I'm a
Hey, hope this sounds good. Testing stuff right now, so hopefully it sounds good. We're going to start in just a few moments.
Only speak the truth. Everyone understands how we play back in the day.
If I give you my time and give you my space, know that shit's not to waste, yo. Still better know your place, yo. I ain't slept good in days, yo. On job running up pace, so we smoke too, right? You say so. I'm back on my bullshit. You ain't seen no one like me since Lauren Hill back in the 90s, bitch. Feeling herself, yeah, I might be, bitch. Got a no soul when you know that, but the olders make way for the 90s, kid. Please don't kill my high. I've been work no stop, never tired, no. That girl is on fire, you know. All stay bringing them vibes, you know. This is for you now. 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 Feel the baseline. Feel the baseline. This is for you now. If I give you my love and give you my truth, know that shit's just for you. Can't nobody be meddling through. I'm paid now when I got shit to lose. Look at where we are. Who would have guessed who knew? I did, that's for sure. I kicked down the doors. They try not let me in. Fuck that, I crushed the party. Fuck that, I am the party. Don't get me started. I am a one-woman army. I am the force that will speak of. What's a wave to a tsunami? True, my drip enormous. Your tap running out, talk about awkward. My thoughts hella distorted, but got my foresight, I was moving forward. This is for you now. 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 Feel the baseline. Feel the baseline. This is for you now. Born alone, die alone, sight go. I'm a parent in this thing, so I'm told. Solid as a rock, and be never fold. On crud, you can hear it in my tone. Watch yourself, be cool, don't stress. Get back to you when I can, messages on red. Ain't need to the shit, I've been blessed. No love, you can get the drama instead. Oi, you can get the drama instead. All this smoke to your head. You can get your whole career dead. Can't get my foot off your neck.
215 pounds, residing from the South Bronx, maintaining 39 wins, 40 knockouts, and no losses. It's the undisputed beatbox champion of the world.
All I know, that's a bad motherfucker. All I know, he's about to drop some shit now. All I know, that's a bad motherfucker. All I know, he's about to drop some shit now.
When I first came out, many couldn't guess my name. Now worldwide, feel the effects, scratch my name. Rosell, now rewind that. Slow it down, you find that the way I design that. A reverb behind that, not in my contract. I'm busting all over the while your girl down with the 2 and 5th, in the 5th, Don S, ROOTS. No need to remind us, she far behind us, trying to high beam, blind us, we catch and shine us, while a nickel plated niner. Blasting holes of your designers, this is for you prima donnas, call my personas like piranhas. I got you second guessing and sweating like saunas. If you learn from the second lesson, no question you want it. Take the facial expressions from minutes to seconds to dormant. Oh, but damn, it feel good to see people up on it.
All I know, that's a bad motherfucker. All I know, he's about to drop some shit now. All I know, that's a bad motherfucker. All I know, he's about to drop some shit now.
Who's the man? Rosell's the man, so yo, pass the method. 1200 styles, crush a crew without no effort. Let me flip my vocabulary, vocal acrobatics, microphone dramatics. I can jam like automatics, 9mm, 12 rounds, 1 in the chamber. Russian roulette, you can bet there is danger. Number 5 in the billboard with the bullet. 1 million in my pal, you know the style. Let me pull it, cause I'm about to blast ya. Take the mic, then harass ya. Switch up speeds, without the weed, then I pass ya. 1999 octane, because I gassed ya. Watch me join jet on you, son, like I'm NASA. Goddamn, like to come war on Bassa. It's the sound effect master. All I know,
And I'll destroy anyone who dares go against me.
all I know, he's about to drop some shit now. All I know, that's a bad motherfucker. All I know, he's about to drop some shit now.
I got your mouth wide open just like the Grand Canyon. I'm true goy to this rap game. I got game. Call me Denzel with the rap name. I got aim. He's on fire like a cold and hot flame. Cause my pasta new says, Badu says, your prognosis says. Kids doing a
The End.fm. I am DJ Zwain. This is The Hijack. Thank you for being a part of the program. Thank you for listening to the show either on podcasts on your favorite podcast platform, whether that be Spotify, iTunes, Google, or iHeartRadio. You can also check us out on YouTube at DJ Zwain with my YouTube channel. Just started posting stuff there with any sort of frequency. Prior to that, I was just kind of doing what I felt like doing. So with that out of the way, thank you for being a part of the show. If you hadn't noticed, last week we did not do the program. The reason why, because I was out of town. I was hanging out in one of my favorite places on the planet. I was in Colorado. Colorado was amazing. I was there for 3 reasons. I was there for 3 reasons. I was there to DJ my friend's wedding, and there's a wedding story at the toward the end of the show that I'm going to be talking about, which I think is kind of pertinent to what we're talking about today. But Colorado was amazing. I was there to DJ her wedding. She actually did some VO work for us. She did some VO work for The Hijack. So you might have heard her voice on one of our intros. One of the previous episodes actually had her on. So that was really cool. I got to DJ on the side of a mountain, which was amazing. Just Colorado's just beautiful. If you've never been to Colorado, especially if you're used to being in a place like Orlando, why does this keep going wide? This thing, you know what? Whatever. You're gonna see this. Basically, what's going on for those of you just watching, my camera is just doing everything by itself, doing what it wants to do, and it's shooting me wide now. And is it just changing? What is it doing right now? I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Well, thank you for being on the show. Jesus Christ, everything is out of whack. So if you're watching this, I'm not fixing this in post because you're watching this for free. So shut up. Anyway, so yeah. So the other reason that I was there was for Joint Venture. The Joint Venture is a series that I decided to start doing. I was there to continue shooting that. It's basically where we explore the history of cannabis from prohibition to essential service. So from prohibition to essential service, we go through all of that, and that is awesome. This is so weird. This camera is acting all sorts of strange. But anyway, so far, we've done for Joint Venture, we've done Michigan, we've done Colorado, we've done Florida. We're about to do Illinois, South Carolina, Virginia, Massachusetts, and New York. I want to do all the states, but so far, that's how much we're able to do right now. That's how much it's feasible to do. I'm wanting to start the series, and I want to release it in 2022. Still working on all the details. It's just one of my crazy little projects that I like to have. So, the other reason that I was there was for my brother. I wanted to commemorate him, and he took his own life almost 3 years ago on September 15th. So this all just coincided time-wise, and I was very happy that happened. So when he died, I was still processing everything. I hadn't really, processed his death too much. I hadn't had time. So right when he died, I was still processing my older brother's death. My older brother passed away of cancer a few months prior to him, I think in March. Prior to that, my father had passed away. And prior to that, my grandmother had passed away. So it's just all within a year and change of one another. And so a lot to go over. And so I felt like this was a week that I could at least in part process his death and enjoy some of the places that he enjoyed. And went to some of his favorite sites, went to places like Red Rocks. And my next trip, I'm definitely going to plan around a couple of shows. There's so much cool stuff over there. Like they absolutely ruined anything that has to do with burritos, especially breakfast burritos. Holy crap. There was they really lean into the fact that they are a cannabis friendly city, from cannabis themed restaurants and bars to you name it. I mean, you have everything that you can think of cannabis wise over there. Very, very far and much cheaper prices, much better prices in Colorado. So I was there in Denver. I was in Colorado Springs. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. But a lot of it, it was a very emotional trip. It was an emotional trip. So anyway, this is the part of the show that I say, look, if you're thinking of killing yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're thinking of killing yourself, know that your family will be glad that you did not do it. And as somebody who knew my brother as well as he did, I could tell you that he regretted it the minute that he did it. If there is an afterlife, he definitely regretted it. So don't do it. So like I said, I was there for a wedding, partly for a wedding. And at this wedding, it was a destination wedding, and it was beautiful. I was on the side of a mountain. I mean, destination weddings are beautiful, and when you are planning a destination wedding, one of the things that you need to do is figure out who the hell is going to be there, because to give you an idea, a wedding just locally, I know that because I've DJ'd, a not insignificant portion of my income has been DJing specifically private events, weddings, and stuff like that. And I can tell you that those prices run from $100 to $300 a plate if you're talking at a resort. And when I came back home, I ran into a story about a couple who invoiced the people that RSVP'd and didn't show up to their wedding. Okay, so this is out of Insider. A Chicago couple posted a $240 invoice. $240 invoice for their no-call, no-show guests who didn't attend their destination wedding. So it's, this is this is petty. Part of me wants to say, yeah, that's fine, just do it. The other part of me says, no, because it's the wedding and you're expected to kind of lose money. Like, look, weddings are one of those things that I can tell you for a fact they are more expensive than any other party. And here's the reason why. When you are, it's for good reason. People talk about, weddings are, people always charge extra for weddings. It's for a reason, man. Like, for example, I'm DJing at West End in a couple of weeks. And if worst case scenario, God forbid something happens and I screw up playing a song, or I don't play a request or something like that. If that happens at West End, it's fine. The person's probably drunk and won't remember. To be fair, at a wedding they could also be drunk and not remember. But this is somebody's special day. This is somebody's special day. So there is a reason why the wedding industry charges more. Because if you the stakes are raised, man. The stakes are raised. You have to plan everything to a T. But on top of that, if anything goes wrong and it's your fault, it's your reputation. It's your ass. So enough about that. Let's ask. Let's ask the question: if you had a wedding, a destination wedding, and the guests said that they would RSVP, and they had multiple opportunities to rescind the RSVP, would you charge them? Is this a route that you would go? Would you be that petty? Now, the notes section of the invoice says, this invoice is being sent to you because you confirmed seats at the reception during the final head count. The amount above is the cost of your individual seat because you did not call or give us proper notice. So this is the amount of your seats paid in advance. You can pay via Zelle or PayPal. Please reach out to us and let us know your method of payment. Thank you. Wow, that's good. I mean, that's good. This is next level petty. But I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it, especially if it's a destination. I mean, okay, look, if it's a destination wedding, you're talking about extra stuff for both parties, to be fair. So if you ask somebody to go to your destination wedding, you're asking them to spend money on a plane ticket, probably. You're asking them to spend money on lodging. You're asking them to, all of that at minimum. So then there's the stress of flying. And if you've followed my social media threads the last few days, you could tell that I'm not a big fan of the airline industry right now. I was just informed this morning, speaking of which, that I was not getting a refund for my plane ticket, that they canceled, that I instead was going to get a credit to, basically I can spend my money there later because they didn't want me to spend the money there now. That's basically what they're saying. That's what that is. So like, this is, it's ridiculous to me. I was going to take a break from doing the show because I'm only a week between flights. Because I went to Denver and now I'm going to Chicago for Riot Fest. So fucking, that's great. But I almost didn't do the show, but I was like, you know what? I need to keep the chops up. I need to, keep Algor's rhythms, happy. So I decided to do it, and as I was doing it, I was informed, while all this was happening, that I wasn't getting my refund for my plane ticket. That I'm going to have to, they're going to allow me to spend my money with them in another spot, at another time, when, whenever I decide to fly again. I hate these people. And as I'm saying this, the fact that I'm an Arab and I host a podcast called The Hijack, it's probably not great for my flying experience, but then there is that. So I don't know. This had to be one of the most irritating experiences of my life, and like it's at least traveling. I mean, obviously, but my friends ask me all the time, "Hey, Zwain, why don't you visit the West Coast more often?" My answer is because I hate the airlines. I hate the airlines, and I keep saying that with a show called The Hijack, and I should not do that anymore. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on, because I don't want to die, or I don't want to get sent to Gitmo. I want to go to Riot Fest at least. So here's the deal. So I started skating again because I'm 39 years old and I feel like that's a good idea. And I got some Hendersons, as you see behind me. I was able to actually drop into a mini half pipe for the first time in 19 years yesterday. So happy. I was so freaking ecstatic. I was like, yes, all right, cool. It is like riding a bike. So I'm probably going to go and try the bigger half pipe in the next, probably when I come back from Riot Fest. I don't want to push my luck, But I was there, and only two rollerbladers in the whole thing. Well, me and two more. So three. And they were great, man. One of them just started skating like in January. I don't know what's going on right now, but there has been an explosion of rollerblading. Maybe it's because the 90s are cool now. Is that what it is? Like now the 90s are cool? Maybe that's what it is. But last night, without planning it, I decided to go to a skate park an hour before it closed. And I dropped in on my first mini bike in 20 years. I felt like riding a bike, but it was rough. It was the first couple times was like, all right, cool. But now that I'm getting the center of gravity back, and now, I'm losing a little weight and that kind of thing, that's good. But the vibe at the skate park, I have to say this, the vibe at the skate park was much different than it was 20 years ago. There was a lot more angst in the 90s when it came to skate parks. There was a lot more territory between the action sports. And there was a lot more congratulations and encouragement from every single kid, no matter what they were riding. I really like it. I'm enjoying this era of rollerblading, where everybody can get along. Nobody's hitting each other with their respective tools of their trade. So there were, like I said, 3 total rollerbladers, which was more than I expected to see, honestly. But apparently, it's coming back with a vengeance. These kids are killing it out there. So shout out to Jared and Alex, if you're listening out there, keep up the good work. I haven't felt so old in a crowd in a very long time, because this is something that I took part in when I was a kid. I was when I started skating, I was 15 years old when I started doing aggressive inline skating, when I was going to skate parks and shit like that. And I held my own. I wasn't great, but I could ride ride in a skate park and not embarrass myself too much. But that all died out. That all died out in the 2000s. And then, but there were some people that were still holding the torch. They were still they're still riding. They were still doing the thing. But they were. I was talking to one of the kids, and this is what the first time I feel like I felt like an old person at a skate park was last night. But the first time that I felt like an old person was when I was having a conversation with someone, and they used the word yeet, and I'm not sure that I know what that word means still. Or I don't know. They used it unironically, and they used it in place of a word. I think they used the word that it was heat. Heat was the term that was. I was expecting her to say heat, and she said yeet, and I don't know what that means, but that made me feel old. The other time that I felt old at the skate park was when I asked the guy, when we were talking about things and about going to shows and stuff like that, and I mentioned 3 bands, and out of the 3 bands, he knew one of them. He knew, I think, Dropkick Murphys of all bands. Of all the bands, he knew Dropkick Murphys. And I think I mentioned Rancid and maybe NoFX. And I guess Dropkick Murphys would be the most mainstream out of all of those. But, I mean, really, guys? Really? That's, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm telling my age. The kid was probably in his early 20s. So that's probably on me. My audience was not, it wasn't the right demo. But speaking of Riot Fest, the Riot Fest 2021 lineup. Like I said before, there won't be a show next week, and it's because I'll be going to Riot Fest. I'm pretty stoked to be going on another great trip, but it's not as emotionally taxing. It's not as emotionally charged. We plan on taking the first day and doing some recording for the joint venture Illinois, and the other thing that I'm going to do out there is I'm going to find a good mom and pop restaurant. So a good mom and pop restaurant. If you have any recommendations for good Chicago mom and pop restaurant, I need that, and I need a deep dish Chicago pizza stat. So good recos for those. That'll be good. The day that we get in is the same day that Riot Fest starts, apparently, because they started a day early. They're pulling a Halloween, essentially, where they have the pre-party that everyone's invited to at this time because nobody knew about it. But anyway, Morrissey is on the bill, so I don't care. I'm just going to go out and do other things. If he was with the Smiths, I might skip a good Chicago meal to see them, maybe, but not likely. Not just for Morrissey. He's kind of a dick. But after that, after that day, it's all music all the time. So the stage, here's the let me see if I could pull up my the Riot Fest. Where was the Riot Fest? Let's search for Riot Fest. Hold on. Riot Fest Chicago bands. All right, so I just did the actual schedule, and I wouldn't mind seeing so the first band is Radke. Ronnie Radke, I think, is who Radke is, I'm assuming. I definitely want to see Fishbone. I wouldn't mind seeing Living Color, but I want to see Anti-Flag. I want to see Thrice, Sublime with Rome. Beach Bunny, Nikki, who I'm going with, she wants to see Beach Bunny. I want to see Circle Jerks and the Dirty Heads, and they kind of overlap. So we'll see what happens with that. That's one of the things that I've noticed about festivals, man. Especially festivals where I know a lot of the bands. Most of the bands that I want to see overlap with one another. Like most of the heavy, like the big bands. The biggest overlap of the day on Friday. I think this is Friday's schedule. Yeah, just the biggest overlap of the day is between the Smashing Pumpkins, NoFX, and Lupe Fiasco. Are you kidding me? Like I have to. So the Pumpkins are playing longer. Lupe Fiasco is the second longest, and NoFX has the shortest amount of time. So maybe we can catch a little bit of each band. But I don't like that, man. I want to see everything and everyone all the time. Saturday, I wouldn't mind seeing the Bronx. I've heard good things about them. I definitely want to see 4 Years Strong, but they overlap with Guar. And Guar is playing a longer set, so we could catch the beginning of Guar and then go to 4 Years Strong. So there is that. I wouldn't mind seeing state champs, but they overlap with Hepcat, so I'll probably see the beginning of State Champs and then just catch the whole Hepcat set because Hepcat's great. Go-Go Bordello is apparently a band that we're going to go see. They overlap with Bayside, which I wouldn't mind seeing Bayside, but whatever. The Mighty Mighty Bosstones I definitely want to see, obviously. Definitely want to see Rancid. The biggest overlap of the day on Saturday, for those of you going to Riot Fest, Andrew WK, at least in my opinion, Andrew WK that plays 15 minutes later, Run the Jewels. So it's Andrew WK and 15 minutes later, Run the Jewels, and then 10 minutes later, Dropkick Murphys start. So that's the lineup that I'm going to have to basically double time everything. Sunday, I wouldn't mind seeing 303. I wouldn't mind seeing Thursday. We might go see Mr. Bungle. They start right after Thursday. It'd be nice to see Thursday. And then Devo. I want to see Devo. The Flaming Lips. I wouldn't mind seeing them, and I wouldn't mind seeing Newfound Glory. I'd rather see the Flaming Lips than Newfound Glory. And then they're closing the night with one of the biggest overlaps. Newfound Glory overlaps with the start of Machine Gun Kelly and Slipknot, and Machine Gun Kelly overlap with Slipknot having the longer set. So chronologically speaking, if I wanted to see all of them, if we wanted to see all of these bands, we'd have to just run halfway or do it, watch 10 minutes of one, 10 minutes of the other, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just ridiculous. I think that that was, obviously, I'm sure there's a method to their madness. There's a reason why they are doing it. I'm sure money is probably the reason for it. So, whatever. I'm going to enjoy Riot Fest. And so, yeah, definitely, if you're going to go to Riot Fest, let me know, because that is definitely on my list of things to do. And I think that other than that, this is the Hijack. Thank you so much for listening. And make sure and subscribe. Follow me on all social media, all of that jazz. You know how it is. Follow me at DJ ZOUAIN on all social media. You can follow the Hijack. You can follow Irreverent. You can follow the Monday Music Mix, all at the end.fm. Go ahead and check that out. And, I'm going to probably do some throwbacks. Maybe put the Shane Smith throwback episode for the next couple of weeks so you can have more stuff for your ear holes. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.